Guys, they were in watching the tape, going through the game. They'll be coming back Monday for practice and for meetings, and we'll be focused on the Giants. In the meantime, coaches will be here all week, and we're going to go through really every aspect. It's a little different, with a late bye like this. I don't think it'll be so much geared toward mid-season reviews and things like that, because I think we have a good idea. I know we have a good idea on where we're at. We're going to be looking for ideas and adjustments, and watching our opponents that we're going to be playing the next 3 to 4 weeks, and doing everything we can to be ready for those games and create as many, opportunities for our players, put them in position to make plays as we can. That's what we'll be searching out in the next 5 days. What question do you have?
John, I know we asked about Deontay Johnson after the game, and is there any other clarification you give with that?
Right. At this time, I'm going to have to wait, just to clarify it. There's some moving parts there that we're going to have to figure out and explore, just see where we're at. I know it's not the answer you want, but it's the best I can do in fairness to everybody right now.
Sean, do you expect him to continue to be on the team after the
I think, like I said, we'll just work it out, see where we're at over the next few days and this week.
With the bye week, what are some of what have you seen in this first part of the season that you are pleased with, and what kind of adjustments would you want to see moving forward with just the 4 games left?
Yeah, that's such a big question and a good question. I think that's all encompassing, the answer really, because it includes every aspect of our team. I mean, there's certain things we want to look at, special teams, there are things on offense and things on defense that we want to look at in terms of what we can create to be ready for what's in front of us. And I'm happy with the first part of the season. It's not perfect. Like every few more wins, but I'm glad we have the wins that we have. Everything that every goal that we have is in front of us, and we have the team to do it. So what can we do Bill Parcells had a great quote. He said, "The season starts after Thanksgiving." Wow, what a truth for the teams that are still in it, and we're one of those teams. So we have an opportunity now. The season starts now. I think I'm proud of our guys. I feel like they've fought through a lot of things this year. It's been 13 straight weeks. Got a lot of tough games, had a lot of travel. We've gone against teams kind of in situations where they were hot. They were at their best. They were playing good football. They were healthy, and it's a challenge. And I think our guys handled all those challenges really well. So that forges you for what's ahead. It's made us the team that we are. And I think recognizing with some rest this week, with our legs back under us, we'll have a chance to do really well going forward.
John, can you take us kind of through your thought process as you figure out how to deal with a situation you probably didn't think you'd have to deal with right now, which is Justin Tucker and the kicking issue?
What's the question?
Just kind of your thought process as you try to figure out how to fix this, Tucker's issues, or however you kind of approach it right now.
Yeah, I mean, you rack your brain. You think about everything, because that's a big deal. Obviously, we all know it. Justin knows it too. I mean, points were at a premium in the game. They have been a few of these games, and sometimes we haven't made the most of our opportunity to score points because, you're making kicks. And so, and Justin expects to make every kick, no matter how far it is or what the situation is, and those are makeable kicks for him. So, yeah, we're racking our brains, talking to Justin, looking at what we're doing. I'm very confident that it's going to get fixed. I believe it will. It has to, and he's the guy to get it fixed. So, sometimes you respect the player and you respect his ability to get it worked out. And with help from the coaching, from Randy and from Chris, I feel confident that I'll be done.
Coach, do you feel like is it a physical thing or a mental thing, or maybe a combination of both? After maybe missing an extra point, maybe that leads into the next kick.
Yeah, I mean, all those things. I think all those things are part of it. Sure, it's like not simple. It's not like a one. If it was a one fixed thing, it would be easy. It's definitely not. He's kicking really well in practice. He's kicking really well in practice. He's kicking really well in pregame. So you know that the physical ability is there. It's just a matter of doing it. That's what he said to me this morning. I know what I have to do. I just have to do it in those situations. So that's what it really boils down to.
you've continued to send him out there for longer kicks. Would you say that your decision-making process on when to use Justin hasn't really changed?
Well, I wouldn't say it hasn't really changed. I mean, when he was hitting the, 3 or 4 years ago, hitting the bombs, we were going 57, 58, 56 pretty regularly. That's tightened up a little bit, circumstances of the games, field conditions too, but 52, 50, those are kicks he's very capable of making.
John, you've mentioned your approach with Justin, that you believe it's wise to stick with them. Do you believe there's any merits to bringing in another kicker, at least to have him on the practice squad, maybe to work out guys, and because you guys haven't had to look at kickers in a long time?
Right, yeah, I don't think there'd be anything wrong with that, I wouldn't want it to be a message or anything like that, other than the fact that you want to turn over every stone and make sure you've seen all the guys at every position. If there were guys out there that Randy looked at, our scouts looked at and said that was something that we should do, we would do it. But I don't think that's the answer, knowing, from when I've talked to Randy and the scouts, knowing who's out there right now. It's not to say there aren't guys capable, but there's nobody nearly as good as Justin Tucker out there.
With Justin, there's a video of you giving him a hug after he missed, I think, his third kick. Did you feel like it was important for him to feel supported in that moment? What was your mindset there?
Yeah, I did see a picture of that. To me, I just said, hey, you're going to make the game winner. Get ready to make the game winner. That was the conversation. So I was confident that he would do that.
John, Lamar made mention of the conversation he was with his mom, that she was saying there were running lanes available for him, and he was kind of agreeing in retrospect. Have you seen anything from film that shows Lamar is passing up opportunities to run that maybe he should take?
No, I wouldn't generalize it like that. I mean, I think every play stands on its own. Lamar's such a creative player. He'll scramble out there, and he made a couple throws too, didn't he? Where he hit Zay once or twice, hit some guys. So hit Mark for the touchdown, instead of running. So I really trust Lamar. I trust his mom too. His mom is a good judge. She's seen more Lamar ball than anybody. So I'm sure she has a great handle on it. So let Lamar and his mom, talk through all that stuff. But I trust Lamar to make good decisions. I mean, he's too good. He's too productive moving around the pocket. He's too much of a problem for defenses, and I think he makes a lot of good decisions doing that.
John, Keaton Mitchell was inactive yesterday. Is he dealing with any unexpected physical challenges as he kind of works his way back in, or kind of where is he right now?
Great question. No unexpected physical challenges, but there's definitely physical challenges with what he's gone through. It was a very serious knee injury, and he came back quick as you possibly could from it. I also wanted to give Rashid a chance. He's been working hard, and you saw it on the kickoff returns how explosive he looked on that. So it just made sense to kind of give Keaton a little rest, give Rashid a chance, and I like those two guys. So just kind of they'll both be in the mix going forward.
Sean, Adafeo's snap count was quite low. Was it a physical thing, or was it a matter of game planning with personnel?
Well, it was a run game, a run defense game for sure, T-Rob's been doing such a good job in those kind of personnel groups who were defending against the run, and it came up a lot in the game.
Yeah.
And that's why we did that. It's more of a run game decision.
John, also Marcus Williams, a healthy scratch today, I believe. Is there a way forward for him to find ways on the field for the rest of the season?
There is. Right now he's the third safety in terms of filling in. You have to make a decision in a game based on personnel and who's up the special teams. So, we got the young guys who play special teams. He's not really a special teams guy. Marcus is a starting safety type guy for sure. And like I said before, I feel like when Marcus gets back out there, and you got to assume over the course of these games he's going to get back out there, he'll be ready to play. He and I had a great conversation this week. He's a pro. He worked hard. He's ready for when his opportunity comes back to get out there to play his best football. And that's why he's valuable to our football team in that type of a role.
John, could you I'm sure you'll review everything. Is it possible that you may make some changes on the offensive line, or is that one of the areas you're going to look at, maybe to get some guys, fresh guys in there, give them an opportunity?
I think we're pretty well set there. I think those guys can come in, the other guys that are working hard can come in and help us, but I'm not down on anybody in the offensive line. That's a really good front we played against. I think we could have played better, especially in pass protection. Those guys would tell you that it could have been better, even in the run blocking sometimes, for sure. But I don't think it merits any drastic changes right now, other than the fact that, you know, Josh goes in there sometimes in the extra line. He could have a chance. You know, Ben, I think he goes in there extra line. You know, I think he'd play well if he went in there. But I like the way the offensive line has played over the last number of weeks.
John, the defense has taken a step forward in the past few weeks. How much of it goes back to that chemistry and players executing, and how much of it is maybe this new coaching staff learning curve is starting to turn for them?
Well, it's. I think we've just locked in on some things. We're playing our deep coverages better. Bottom line, you know, there's all those things that you mentioned probably factor in one way or another. But at the end, you look at it and you say, okay, you watch the coverage, you watch the guys' spacing, positioning, eyes, the communication, the checks that get made, and you just keep chasing, doing the right things. It's not going to change the defense. You know, we're just playing it a little better.
John, I don't know if you have any update from Rashad Bateman, any news on Bateman and his knee?
His knee got sore in the game. You know, he had treatment today. It's not a long-term thing. So it's something he'll, like all the guys have these kind of things. I think a lot of guys have these kind of things. Late in the season, the bye week will really help him. I do believe that.
You have an update
Sure.
on Sanusi Kane as well? He left the game with a hamstring.
Yeah, he's got a hamstring. It's not a major hamstring, so he'll be working through that, and we'll see how he is for the next game.
John, we've seen over the last couple weeks more use out of Chris Board. What goes into that decision, and what have you seen from him?
Yeah, I mean, Chris is a veteran player. You know, he's been a special teams, top special teams player, and he's been a solid linebacker whenever he's played. I think he started in Detroit. He's played well. You know, he had a couple plays he went back in the pass game, I think, in some of the one or two of the zone coverage situations. But he's solid for us. Takes a little pressure off Trent. I think Malik also. You saw it in the Chargers game. Same way. We've got to find, you know, just give those guys a chance to play and use all of our guys.
John, after this bye week, you had a pretty exceptional stretch where you played 3 games in I think 11 days, and you know 2 short weeks following that Giants game. So is the bye week a chance to prep ahead for any of that stuff? I mean, do you need to squeeze more into this time for that stretch?
It is for the coaches, absolutely. We'll definitely be looking at all 3 of those games in the bye week, and then you look for plays that apply to all 3 teams, opportunities to make the reps count for all 3 games as much as you can. That's definitely something we're thinking about.
John, we didn't get a chance to ask you about Millette. I know you can come back twice from IR. Is there an opportunity? Is the season ending now, or no? Do you still feel like there's hope for him?
It remains to be seen. I think there's hope. Remains to be seen. So it's one of those ones that's up in the air.
Coach, when you say all the goals are still in front of you, and they are, is it maybe a different path though from previous seasons, whereas you might not be, you know, at home to start off with, or something of that nature? Maybe is that too far ahead to look down?
Too far ahead to look around. You know, that'll be determined, you know, the next 4 games for sure. We're right there. We can do it. We can win the division, you know. We can make it as a wild card, or we can be out. You know, it's up to us to determine that. I feel like if we win the games, we'll be in real good shape.
Last night there was, you know, Zay Flowers looked, a couple of times came off the field looking visibly agitated, that he was open, didn't see him, whatever. Had no catch in the second half. In fact, the wide receivers collectively only had 1. Was there some, I know that pressure was one issue, but what do you think broke down there in terms of physically getting the ball to receivers?
Yeah, and that's all. That's everything happens. You know, it's a tough game. It's a really good defense, a really good front. You know, in a hard-fought ball game. You know, so everybody wants to contribute and wants to make the plays. That's what I love about our guys. You know, they compete. Nobody ever points the finger. You know, nobody's mad. It's just not easy. It's not, things don't just fall in place because they fall in place. I mean, you're going against a tough team and competing out there, and we, you know, we didn't get the points we needed in the second half. We were capable of it. We didn't get them. We had good plays, and we had plays that didn't work. You know, and we had opportunities that we didn't cash in on. So that's National Football League, week to week. Disappointed. Where can we get better? And what do we need to do next game we play and the next 4 games? That's really what we're looking at.
John, I think Patrick McCary's now over his career high for snaps played in the season. I know at times early in his career, you guys had to kind of manage his workload. How do you see him just handling this kind of season stretch being in somewhat uncharted waters?
Yeah, great question. I feel like great accomplishment by him. 13 straight weeks. He's played pretty much every snap, right? That's an accomplishment because that's been a challenge for him in the past. So I think he deserves a lot of credit for that. He's played very good football. Big plus.
John, against the Eagles, Nick Sirianni essentially said that the Ravens had to match their physicality, intensity. Do you feel that your team has played with the physicality that you expect in these more challenging games that you've faced this season?
Of course. I mean, every coach says that. That's what coaches say.
John, you mentioned just how impressive the Eagles pass rush was. I think they didn't need a lot of blitzers to kind of knock Lamar off his spots. How do you think their ability to get to the pocket maybe impacted what you guys wanted to do in the passing game?
Yeah, it's going to always, if you don't have clean protection, you don't have a clean pocket, every single snap is going to be an issue for sure. I mean, the Eagles are good. They got a good front, bunch of talented guys. They did a good job. That's part of what I was just talking about. That's the challenge it's a challenge of football in this league when you play good teams. And just to be clear, that's not the only good team we played. Remember, all the good teams we played right down the stretch here going back. So I'm not down on our guys at all. I'm not disappointed. I'm not worried. I'm excited. We got a bunch of tough, competitive fighters that want to be the best they can be. So that's how I look at it.
All right, John.
All right, thanks.